What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So, Michigan State basketball gets March kicked off in the right way with a 77-64 win on the road in Bloomington against the Indiana Hoosiers to move ahead to 24-5 and 14-4 overall in the Big Ten. Now, Michigan State in this one, it was a dominant game from three-point range. I think probably their second best three-point outing of the year. Went 12 for 24, 50% from three. You had season highs from Jackson Kohler, from Kurtang off the bench. Jeremy Fears just doing what Jeremy Fears does. And yeah, just there was a couple things defensively down low that definitely could get improved. Indiana's two best guys, and Lamar Wilkerson and Tucker DeFries, did get theirs, but for the most part, everyone else you were able to hold in check. So a positive start to the month of March for Michigan State in this one. And then with some other results in the Big Ten, we're going to take a look at the standings and see where Michigan State sits at potentially securing a top 4 seed in the Big Ten. And with some of those other results as well, potentially, hopefully moving up in that NCAA tournament bracket as well. But before we do jump into this game, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button down there. We'll have more Michigan State basketball content on the channel, so just make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. So we'll start here with Indiana, who they talked about it a lot during the broadcast, was really desperate for a win in this one, sitting right on that like 9-10 line in terms of right on the bubble, essentially, for the NCAA tournament. And they could really use a win in this one, and they played desperate for a lot of the games. They kept talking about it on the broadcast as well. For Indiana, obviously you start with Lamar Wilkerson and Tucker DeFries. We said they got theirs. 29 points for Lamar Wilkerson. He played 40 minutes. He technically came out for what was like a 30-second stint. But, I mean, 11 for 21, 5 for 14 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, a rebound and an assist with 2 turnovers, so didn't let him get others involved. Tucker DeFries played 40 minutes as well, 20 points, 6 for 16, 3 for 12 from 3. They got a lot of threes up, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, but 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, and 2 steals for DeFries in this one. Sam Alexis, the other one to get a couple shots to go. He had 8 points in this one with 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Nick Dorn had 4 points, 1 for 5 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3. Connor Enright, 3 points, 1 for 7 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. And then off the bench, only played 3 guys, only played 8 guys total in this one. Wasn't able to get any production from the bench either. Josiah Miles was able to provide 6 rebounds, but only 1 shot attempt from the bench, and you saw that with the major minutes from, obviously, their 2 big guys, but Sam Alexis, 31 minutes as well, then 28 and 27 from their other 2 starters. So overall, as a team, Michigan State was able to hold them at solid percentages from the field, fairly low. They got to the free throw line a decent amount. Michigan State was able to get there more. Michigan State able to dominate on the glass. Not a whole lot of turnovers for Indiana, so you give them credit there, and you give them some credit to we'll look at the overall stats, but as I said, kind of some paint defense for Michigan State, and in low, definitely was that interior defense was a question mark in the first half for Michigan State. Felt like it got a little bit better in the second half, but overall a solid defensive effort against Indiana, and you give credit to their 2 guys, Wilkerson and DeFries, 2 of the better players in the conference, and they were able to get theirs in this one and give Indiana a shot in this one. But Michigan State, as we switch over to them, off the bench, Denim Wojcik got 3 minutes, had an assist in this one. Trey Fort did get in 9 minutes, 0 for 2 from the field. Cam Ward, I thought his stats are not going to jump off the box score, but 4 points, 1 for 5 from the field, but 2 for 2 from the free throw line, which was obviously huge. That's something that he has struggled with this year, but getting those 2 for 2 from the free throw line was big. But 5 rebounds, a turnover, a steal, a block. And I thought he was aggressive, too. He's getting good opportunities, whether off the drive or whether grabbing the rebound and trying to finish down low. I thought overall a solid night from Cam Ward for the most part. Obviously, you'd like to see a few more buckets go in, but Kurtang off the bench obviously alleviated a lot of that. He played 29 minutes in this one, got a lot of run, 18 points, 6 for 8 from the field, and all 6 of 8 of those attempts were from the 3-point line. He was absolutely on fire. 2 rebounds, had a turnover as well, and this is coming off of what I said was maybe one of Kurtang's best games as a Spartan. I think you put that right ahead of this one too. So that's what you want. First day of March, playing your best basketball. going into this last part of the regular season and going into tournament time. So Kurtang was absolutely huge, and these weren't all wide open shots. Some of them were definitely, but he was having a pump fake, take a gather dribble, and get a three up a couple of times. And I just thought he did incredibly well, grabbed those couple rebounds as well. So continuing to try to do the little things as well, but big game for Kurtang. We switch over to the starting lineup. Carson Cooper was in some foul trouble in the first half in this one. Only plays 21 minutes, 4 points, 1 for 3 from the field, 2 for 4 from the line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Jordan Scott was in foul trouble as well. Only played 16 minutes, but he had a 3 to go, 1 for 2 from the field. Both of them were from 3. Had a rebound, an assist, and a turnover. Like I said, foul trouble for both of those guys, so not had an impact on the game, but not a overly minute-wise impact on the game. Konkar, 36 minutes in this one, 6 points, 2 for 6 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 for 3 from the free throw line, with 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers as well. I mean, solid game from Cohen and, the guys that, obviously Kurtang, but then Jackson Kohler, Jeremy Fears, the next 2 guys we'll talk about coming in, how important it was to get Jackson Kohler going into March, into the end of the season, into tournament time. And he came out, they went to him right away within the first 10 seconds, dumped it right down to Jackson Kohler, turns in, gets a foul, goes to the free throw line, hits 2 free throws, able to get the 3-pointer going. He started out the game, I think 4 for 4, 5 for 5, something like that. Obviously he didn't finish shooting 100%, but he finishes in 32 minutes with 21 points, 7 for 12 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, 4 for 4 from the line, with 13 rebounds, 2 assists, only 1 turnover and a block as well. And yeah, on the boards too, 6 of those were offensive rebounds, 7 on the defensive side. But just seeing some go down, especially on the road in a pretty tough environment as well. And to start the month of March as well, big for, I think, both, Jackson Kohler's confidence going forward, but then also the team's confidence going forward. I said, they're going to need him to be a scorer. Coming out in this game with 21 and 13, I think was absolutely big in this one. And then Jeremy Fears, 37 minutes, 21 points, 7 for 13 from the field, with 2 for 5 from 3, 5 for 6 from the line, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. Did have 3 turnovers in this one, but 1 steal, but overall just absolutely solid and a big time performance on the road in this type of environment and game. Going into March, where yes, you could use a win. Michigan State obviously they got the big win against Purdue, but getting a win here on the road, which has been tough. As we said coming in, Michigan State hadn't got a win here in Bloomington since that COVID 2020-2021 season. Hadn't got a win here with fans since I think it was the 2017-18 season. But also, as we said, just continuing to move forward to play your best basketball, yes, but get yourself wins in order to move up, secure that top 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament, and move up hopefully in the NCAA tournament. Obviously, they were currently at a 4 seed, which didn't really make sense with wins over Indiana and Illinois. But obviously, with both of those teams losing over this weekend, essentially, you would hope that maybe Michigan State now moves up to a potential 3. That's what Bar Torvik has them at currently right now, at 3. I know some places had them at 3, but that's what you're looking for in this one. If you can secure a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament, obviously we're going to look at the Big Ten, tournament standings, because that is kind of, what's next up after these last 2 games of the regular season. But if you can slide in at a 3 seed, if you can maybe even steal one of the last 2 seeds, that would obviously be big. You're going to need to, stack some more wins, and there's more work that needs to be done for that. And there's still more work to secure a 3 seed, in my opinion. So, but a good step in that direction here for Michigan State in this one. Then just kind of some overall numbers: 49% from the field for Michigan State, 39% from Indiana, 12 for 24 and 10 for 35 for 3. So that's 50% for Michigan State, 29% for Indiana, 15 for 19 for 79%. Michigan State from the free throw line, 10 for 13, 77% for Indiana. Rebounds, 35 to 27, Michigan State advantage, 10 to 8 on the offensive side, 25 to 19 on the defensive. 15 assists for Michigan State compared to 8 for Indiana. 2 steals compared to 4, 3 blocks apiece. 9 turnovers for Michigan State, so still solid overall within that 8 to 12 that we always talk about. 7 turnovers for Indiana. Michigan State 10 points off turnovers. Indiana 14. Fast break points, 7 for Michigan State, 2 for Indiana. 20 points in the paint compared to 24 for Indiana. As we said, in this one, Michigan State kind of they did lead the whole way, essentially. And 13 points was Michigan State's largest lead, which is what it was at the end of the game. Indiana did not have a lead in this one. As we said, they dumped it down to Kohler early on, got those first points, and thankfully for Michigan State, did not look back in this one. So that was big, and getting a big-time road win in this one going forward. Now with 2 games left in the regular season. So now looking at the Big Ten standings. Obviously that school down the road has locked up the #1 seed in the Big Ten Conference for the Big Ten tournament. Obviously then Nebraska, Michigan State tied at 14-4 overall. Nebraska has the head-to-head. Illinois is right behind at 13-5. Purdue at 12-6. So Michigan State with the win against Rutgers at home on Thursday should potentially secure a top 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament, which is big to get that triple bye to not start until Friday. And then you got another big opportunity after Rutgers at home on Thursday for senior night, on the road against your rival next Sunday. So opportunities still lie ahead for this team. Obviously, we said Bart Torvik has them like a 3 right now, and some bracketologists had them at a 4, some at a 3 right now. So they're in that 3-4 range. I think right now Michigan State, I think they are currently probably locked into, at worst, a 4 seed. Potentially, maybe if you lose out the rest of the regular season and you're knocked out the first round of the Big Ten tournament, or your first game at the Big Ten tournament, then that's potentially you can maybe drop to a 5. But I still think that it's enough to, for sure, be at worst a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. But there's opportunities, obviously, going forward to potentially, improve that seed. If you can steal, one of those last 2 seeds, I think that would be absolutely huge. But it all starts on Thursday with Rutgers on senior night. Just had to go 1 game at a time, keep moving forward into tournament time. But anyway, in this one for Michigan State, obviously a good big-time road win, and I think this was the first time since 2013-14, I believe, they were saying that you got a road win at Purdue and at Indiana. But yeah, just feel good overall. Obviously, Kerr, Jacks early, 4 threes in the first half for Kerr, Jacks at 14 in the first half. We talked about the interior defense being a problem. I thought the flare screen defense for 3s were also a problem for Michigan State. So just some stuff defensively that you can still, work on and improve on. And then Jeremy just doing what he does, that tough mid-range, kind of, fall away late as the shot clock was expiring, was big time as well to secure this win. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. We will be back with a preview for the Rutgers one on Thursday for senior night in the Breslin Center. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.